through. That's pretty much expected, but even so, Subi, you can only beat what is in front of you. But these roster changes, we have seen them work over in EU. If you look at Galaxy Racer, out with Taz, in with Arju, and suddenly that team are looking like they can be knocking on the door of the top 5. So eUnited were no doubt hoping that by getting rid of poor old Hoxer, that would be the similar trajectory that they'd be able to have. But the problem is that for eUnited, that Hoxer's probably their best player, so huge shoes to fill for Tristan.
100%, and right off of the bat, Team Frontline keeping the pressure on in the blue half, and that's a miss there off that back wall from Tristan. An awkward angle, but Wondermike's going to drop it down to Ajax. Good clear to get this ball downfield, and let's see what eUnited can do on offense, and let's see if they can keep some sustained pressure.
Ajax always wanted to be on the end of passes, as you saw when Tristan did do... when Wondermike did his air dribble, there was Ajax managing to get the next touch. And I think they're going to have to start off well, eUnited here, because maybe I'm putting words in your mouth here, Subi, but I do get the impression that you're just about having Frontline for this one.
I don't know. That's a toughie. You can put whatever words you want in my mouth, because I don't think I will fight it much.
Okay.
Question mark? I don't know. I'm so undecisive on eUnited right now. They just haven't proven much.
I will put the word plectrum in your mouth, and I would like you to answer the question.
My answer is 47.
Cheers. Exactly what I was after. Thank you so much, Subi. If that doesn't, explain to everyone what we're about to see over the next potentially 5 games of Rocket League, then I do not know what will. So let's move on and say what we see, which is that Tristan is making a catch. Wondermike is to his side. Good flick there from Tristan. I'm really keeping a close eye on this guy just to see what he's capable of. And so far it seems a few neat and tiny touches, but there is an infield pass from Andy to Delta. Those two combining 1-0 Frontline.
And did Andy get a Goomba stomp here in net? Let's keep an eye on him. He kind of got it, but a butter bump. Taking Ajax out of the picture. 3:07 on the clock. Team Frontline get their first goal. And on the opposite side of the coin, eUnited just one shot on target. They're having a hard time on offense, but there's a good demo, but a little too far out of the picture as Andy's going to keep offense going for Team Frontline.
Last time I watched Frontline play, it was Andy that was at the heart of everything good they were doing. A man who's been on the cusp of the Rival series back when it existed for a long old time, trying to prove himself, and he so far seems to be doing that for Frontline, but there was a chance for Tristan to shoot. His shot not quite good enough. Ajax comes in against Delta. Quick start to this series. It looks like both teams are going to have opportunities. There's a lot of space around the field that all of these players are offering. So I think we're in for a goal fest here.
And I like what I'm seeing from eUnited. The aggression on offense. We've seen multiple demos from their hands, rather. And Tristan, not the best clear there. Just puts it right up to Beastabonium, but it works. And Tristan, again, was downfield looking for the third man in rotation to try and take him off the pitch. Didn't work, but hey, keep that mindset, and eventually something is going to come to fruition.
There's a big old clearance there from Delta, and Andy wants to make the most of it, going up against his opponent. Eventually, Tristan does come in. Certainly seems confident with the way he's playing. Big booming touches. Wondermike is there. Andy with a save that I don't think I wanted to see happen, because what a goal that would have been.
Wondermike has come out in North America as one of the most mechanical players. The consistency is just what we want to see more of from him, because if he can get that under his belt, he can surely become one of the best players in all of Rocket League, North America, you name it. I think this kid's got what it takes, but it's all about that consistency and mindset as Andy gets that double tap to put it towards the target. And look at this, my friend. Team Frontline up by 2.
I think eUnited just not quite backing Andy to be that quick and have that good of a read on their counter-attack. Yeah, 2-0 to Frontline, and they've been worthy of it. eUnited have come forward, but I can't think of too many occasions, apart from that Wondermike redirect. But other than that, that was, should we say, speculative. I think that, in truth, Andy always had it covered. And Frontline are looking really good for this 2-goal lead, as Wondermike, the man you identify as the mechanical wizard for eUnited. He was, there were interviews with, I believe it was when Hoxer was on this roster, where they were basically realizing that Wondermike was putting in way too many hours into Rocket League. It was hundreds and hundreds of hours of training, and he's had to cool that off simply because he was trying too hard to be too consistent. So hopefully eUnited are able to figure out their issues that they're having, and now Here is Wonder Mike. He's got a pass in the middle, but he couldn't quite find it. Surely this isn't going in. No, Wonder Mike will recover. But the pass wasn't quite there.
I mean, that just seems crazy to me. Imagine, now this might go over your head, but I think the name's big enough that you might just get the gist. But imagine coaches telling Kobe Bryant, hey, stop trying to hit 1,000 jump shots.
Exactly. You can't always get a home run, Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. Those bowling pins aren't going to knock themselves down. And here we go, just picked pocket there at midfield. Delta puts in his second of the ball game. And Team Frontline making easy work of eUnited here in game 1.
That was definitely the ice hockey Hail Mary there, I think, from eUnited, trying to go all in on the hand. Didn't quite happen, and this is an easy game for Frontline, and I just feel that eUnited are a delicate team. The way they play, they seem like they're capable of being shaken and suddenly go to sleep in a series because they lose their confidence. And Frontline, they are just taking every chance they can to make sure that this series is as easy for them as it possibly can be, because if their opponents lose heart, they'll have it.
No, I think that's a great analysis right there. I think eUnited is made of paper mache. They look pretty on the outside. They can do some flashy things, but you throw them in some water and they are going to just shred apart. And Team Frontline brought the ocean in this match, 3-0 over eUnited. And you just got to ask yourself, what do they have to do? And I think it just boils down to the spacing. eUnited consistently were pushed forward, and it was easy clears over their head that led to almost all 3 goals that Team Frontline, outside of the first goal where it was that bump play that opened up the net, the other 2 were just easy clears over their heads.
That's completely fair, yeah. They're going for these passing plays. They're trying to play Rocket League in the right way. But when there's 10 feet between all 3 players, if the ball pops out, then Frontline are going to get the counter-attack goal. And credit to Frontline, they have been on top of that every single time. Whenever there is the loosest touch or pass from any eUnited player, Frontline are swarming with confidence and making it so difficult for eUnited to break back out. But we do have a new game. Forbidden Temple, as I have already said today, the most beautiful map in Rocket League.
I mean, look
really
at those cherry blossom trees. They're so beautiful.
They are really pretty. This is like, imagine a LAN here. I mean, imagine a LAN at this point, but imagine a LAN here.
With the waterfalls going, and yeah, I agree with you, Cole. This map is absolutely beautiful, and my horticulture side is coming out with those cherry blossoms. It really just, you know, it brings out the green thumb and makes you appreciate nature, even though we're sitting in this virtual world. As we kind of have to. Like you said, no LAN's going to be coming anytime soon, but I'm just thankful we still get to do this and still get to watch Rocket League on what seems like a daily basis.
There is so much of it, and I absolutely love it. And I'm also happy, speaking of this map, final point on it, that Psyonix have officially made it so that waterfalls are a thing in Rocket League. I know it's a controversial term when the ball hits that top ramp and fall down. A lot of people hate it, but hey, I can see one right there.
Be totally unbiased as the creator of that term, and just say that.
Did you create Waterfall?
I did.
What season?
Before it was season 1, it was community tournaments, and it just kind of stuck.
I have always defended it, Subi.
You've always defended it?
Yeah, I have.
That's why you've always been my best friend, and I've never liked Stumpy.
Best thing I've ever done. Sorry, this is so off topic, but why not? Best thing I've ever done is I came up with Gibbs' guessing. In Vegas, we were trying to come up with chants that we know the da-na-na-na. And I said Gibbs is guessing. So that meme, that was your boy.
I appreciate that one, and I think most people would back that one over the term waterfall, that's for sure. But back into the game as the shots off the post. It's been 2 minutes of just pure back and forth and very limited offensive opportunities for both teams, but here is one for eUnited. Tristan taking Delta off the pitch, but the pressure isn't there. It cannot be sustained. And again, Team Frontline, hey, it's your turn to get a few shots, and then eUnited's going to give it a go.
Oh, they are so lucky that Delta opted to shoot meekly. Maybe a backboard hit, maybe a more powerful strike, but there were 2 goalkeepers for eUnited in the goal, looking absolutely desperate. And same again, Tristan's underneath this one. If Beastabonium comes in quickly enough, eUnited are in real trouble. And it seems to me, again, eUnited have just shot their shot. And now here come Frontline, time and time again. Now it's Andy's turn. Will he be the one to break the deadlock? No, to be fair, good defending there from Ajax. Then a demo from Wonder Mike, and that will open Frontline up. And eUnited have a counter.
Yeah, that crucial demo there on the defensive half to take away the third man, and he can't get Beastabonium but I like the idea that Tristan has in his mind. He's going to say, okay, I'm going to just push myself forward. I'm going to go for demos, and that's a great pass from Wonder Mike. But Tristan was met at midfield by Delta. And Cole, these teams are trading blow for blow right now, and it just seems like they're literally being gentlemen. And okay, your turn. No, now it's ours. Okay, no, you go, my friend.
Well, we have seen a couple of Wonder Mike demos to try and get us past that. And to be fair for eUnited, I've been slightly critical of them, but they have managed to hold off this frontline barrage of offense. So now they have to do the next step, which is to bring the ball forwards into the other half of the pitch. That's a good touch from Wonder Mike. He certainly seems like the key man for eUnited right now, but it's Delta that has a clean touch until Ajax gets back. It's a chance for a solo play. Off the ceiling he goes towards Wonder Mike, who's completely boostless. So Andy comes in, and it's actually a miss from Tristan. That is not what you want to see from the new man. And he and Wonder Mike, a double commit again, combined to just about get this ball away.
And they really lucked out there on that misplay on the back wall from Tristan. Good pressure from Andy, and Delta let that one get away from him. Beastabonium, good challenge there to push forward. And that demo on Delta actually went in Team Frontline's favor. It allowed Andy and Beastabonium to stay pushed forward as they knew Delta was going to be back on defense, and that's a good cut from AJ. Just nearing 30 seconds to go here in game number 2. Still all knotted up at zeros, and it seems like next goal is going to be that golden goal that pushes us towards game 3.
Wonder Mike was beaten there by the clearance, but he was so far forward, and his teammates were supporting him well, that actually it was a really good force. And now we're just in the last 20 seconds or so seeing eUnited starting to knock on that frontline door, but how they would love a goal right now. Something before overtime, just a freebie, something to take away those nerves that overtime will definitely bring. This could be it if Ajax can win this one, but Andy's closed it well. It falls to Tristan. Takes one touch, takes a second one, does have a pass in the center, tries to go underneath. Wasn't the right decision with overtime looming, and we are going to go to golden goal.
11 shots to 3 in favor of Team Frontline. They've just been pouring on the offense, but like you said, they can't quite knock on the door as the deadbolt is locked tight in Ajax again. They rotate back to defense, and on the way, they're looking for any orange card that they can find. As Andy gets a good touch into the corner, this is going to be precarious as Ajax pops that one up, and the bump was there, but Beastabonium was already in the air off of that top of the box line there, and Wonder Mike pushes it into the corner. I don't know what to call that.
Penalty box is what we'd say in the world of soccer or football.
I should probably know that.
Penalty box. It's all right. I'll teach you the ways of English football.
I've got my head in my hands right now. That's ridiculous.
Right, here's Wonder Mike. He certainly, as I said earlier, looking at the most likely for eUnited, but that's not great defending there. Ajax left completely stranded up against Beastabonium. Forces it high. In comes Andy. This could be it. But who else but Wonder Mike from the side to save eUnited yet again? And he is playing well, Wonder Mike. He's making so many clean touches. His read of the game, his ability to detect what Frontline are going to try is working. You know, the Wonder Mike machine is switched on. But I just say he needs a little bit more help from his teammates, because while they're rotating okay, he's looking the only one that's really likely to break this deadlock right now.
Yeah, and I am just going to continue to keep my eye on Tristan as the bump from Ajax almost opened up the smallest window for that ball to squeak through. But here comes Ajax. The pressure is being put on by eUnited, but the rotation's far too wide. Gonna allow Team Frontline an opportunity for themselves here. As this overtime so close, and eUnited just seem to not go away.
Ajax has just started to wake up in the last 30 seconds or so, getting some decent touches away. Frontline are reading it well, but now I've got Wonder Mike coming in from the side. He almost beats Andy to the race, but Andy gets away with it, and 100 boost as well. Goes for one dribbling touch, goes for another one, and a boost steal too. eUnited are in trouble here, but it's Wonder Mike that closes down Beastabonium pretty darn quickly. Oh, it does a set up Andy though, and Ajax with a great save of the crossbar, and then Wonder Mike recovers it fully.
And gets a crucial touch there as Andy puts that one up. Doesn't look like there's going to be a follow-up, but there is, and Ajax squeezes that one out. eUnited barely come out of this one with their lives, but it looks like they're going to have numbers here as Ajax, good catch in the corner. That one is very awkward as Tristan there at the midfield line pushes it to the side, and Wonder Mike is there to push it right back into the orange half. eUnited starting to warm up on offense as Ajax goes up for the shot, but a little too weak. Easily cleared away by Andy.
I'd say as well that Tristan has given this third man role. He's really good at spraying the passes out wide. And it started with a Tristan pass over to Wonder Mike, who was already there, as we've seen time and time again. And there's Ajax.
Beautiful 1-2-3 passing play to end overtime, and that's what you want to see if you're an eUnited fan. This team all being on the same page, all being in the same paragraph, all being on the same line and calling game. But look at the stats while they're up. 10 saves from Ajax. Not one, not two, 10.
He just was having a decent game. I stand by what I said. It may well be. And I stand by what I said, that Wonder Mike was looking most likely to sort of break them down mechanically, but maybe I didn't give enough credence to Ajax positioning in that game, because there were one or two sort of last-second dives, but for the most part, his saves were just from clean reads of what Team Frontline were offering. And then by the end, suddenly he was popping up all over the pitch. And all of a sudden, Ajax was the target man. 1,024 points. What a performance from him in the end.
I mean, he is absolutely insane on the defensive line.
Yeah. Wow, well, we go into a game 3 with eUnited finally getting a win on the board, finally getting a goal on the board, which came a minute or so into overtime. So they're managed to break that deadlock, and they're coming again now. Ajax takes one touch. Over the top. Oh, and Ajax is alive.
The big brain showing itself here right at the top of the box. Slows it down, makes Delta already go up. Says, you're up. Nobody's going up higher than this ball. I'm going to put it left side. And it took 14 seconds here in game number 3 after 8 minutes. And if you want to count game 1, 13 minutes to find their first goal. It just happened very quickly afterwards.
Over to the top it goes, so Andy's clearance is nice and long. But then there's Tristan again, getting that transition ball to Wonder Mike. And this time, oh, he gets a shot away from it. It's saved initially by Delta, but look at Frontline, all of them camped on their own goal. Where has this eUnited been throughout the entire series? Because suddenly, they look exciting, they look like they're having fun with the game, and they look really scary.
Yeah, it's always fun to see a team that you know has potential that just goes out and, like you said, plays to have fun. Yes, we want to see competitive play, of course, but there's some teams that are just dangerous when they're going out there and just having a good time. And
that's how they made their name as Birds and Bees, having a good time in the RLCS.
And the most recent one that came to my mind, NRG, when they won the World Championship. I mean, you talk about a team that was out there laughing, having a good time, and dangerous as all could be. That was them, and eUnited could very well do their own cosplay of that here in this game.
Losing is a habit, and so too is winning. And now Tristan's going for the flip resets. Wonder Mike's coming from the ceiling. This is just enthralling stuff right now from eUnited. It was said on the desk beforehand that this is the team that should be taking this series. You know, they are the more highly regarded team. Frontline are middle of the pack. They're good middle of the pack, as I think it was F. said, but they are still that. eUnited, they're gunning to be comfortably in the top 8 or so of NA, and finally they've woken up. And just the amount of clean ball touches that they're getting, you know, where before it was 50-50s, they're a little bit nervous. Now they're diving in comfortable that if they don't get the ball, that's fine, because their teammates will be... But look at that, Wonder Mike goes in, doesn't get it. There's Ajax to start the next wave of eUnited attack. It might even turn into a goal as well. Not quite, but this is a transformation.
And a beautiful demo there from Andy to open things up, taking away third man, and Ajax repays the favor. He has his teammates back. You'll love to see the enforcer come out on the pitch as Tristan's up, looking for the pass to Ajax. Ajax just out of his reach as he didn't have boost to catch up to that ball. And that was an opportunity thrown to the wayside there as Wonder Mike forced to make a save there, but puts it in a perfect spot. Makes Andy use all of his boost on that play. And Ajax going to try his hand at offense.
It just seems so fast. And look at the spacing from eUnited as well. You know, if you go back to your analysis in Game 1, Subi, they were so close to each other, and it was true because they were all panicking and covering each other. Whereas now, they're just playing their game, offering themselves for a pass, although as we're speaking, That was a nice infield pass from Beastabonium. So Frontline just reminding us that they are dangerous too, and they were looking at the better team at the start of this series. This is their turn for some pressure. Beastabonium towards Andy onto the backboard. Does he have a flip reset? He does. Almost manages to get that one past Wonder Mike, but Wonder Mike does the job of knocking it past his opponent. And I think that eUnited should be able to get away here. No, they can't. Not quite. There was a miss. And just like that, Frontline are looking okay again until that touch from Wonder Mike.
And we just got word from the RLCS Encyclopedia as the save is put on the ball, and the Encyclopedia, aka Stacks, confirmed that is not an individual record there for saves in a game with 10. So nice try, but you're going to have to try harder, Ajax, if you want to be a record maker.
I bet he's really gutted as suddenly his team have sprung to life, thinking, oh man, I'm just gonna defend. I'm gonna be a goalkeeper now. I'm not enjoying this aggressive, entertaining, quick-fire passing style of play where we look really comfortable with our new third, Tristan. Yeah,
that's an awkward touch. No.
Got 50 seconds left for Frontline to try and get back into this third game. They will come forward eventually if they can get the ball off Ajax. There it is. Delta's 50-50 is high towards Wonder Mike. Puts it out wide, hoping to see Tristan there, but Tristan not quite got the same confidence on the transitional play as Wonder Mike does. There's a fake from Delta, there's a flip reset from Andy, and there's a save from Tristan.
I mean, the resolve of Tristan there to be able to defend that ball, that's a difficult save because you called it, hey, someone's already in the air and then another player got the flip reset. Who's going to touch it? Doesn't matter. I'm going to keep my eye on the ball. Great pass forward from Wonder Mike and Tristan. Tons of space, tons of time, but Beastabonium wanted none of it. Doesn't get baited out. 10 seconds to go here, Cole, as Team Frontline. The ball's on the right side of the field. They've got it up in the corner, and Wonder Mike very smartly just pushes it down, but they're not out of the woods just yet. Andy gonna dribble this ball, pre-flip to keep it alive, and there it is. eUnited tie the series up.
Now, it was only 1-0, and Liquipedia will tell you that this was quite a tight affair, but that was eUnited actually playing Rocket League. It's the first time we've seen it in a little while. This is a team that has been struggling, one reason or another, on the field. And it was great to see them play the same style of Rocket League that made them so popular in this world. And just talk us through these transitional plays, Subi, that they had time and time again, because the passes were inch perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Team Frontline getting a little too aggressive or if it was eUnited surveying the field perfectly and seeing, okay, there's a small space here, you go there and I'll pass you the ball and we can break out on offense, because it seemed like anytime they wanted to break out of their defensive half and start an offensive transition, it was available to them. And like I said, I don't know if it's because Team Frontline were getting a little antsy in their pantsy, thinking, oh no, we can't go down 2-1, or if it was just, hey, eUnited reading them perfectly. They saw what they brought in game one and kind of said, hey, we can match these guys. We can play pace for pace and we can beat them at their own game.
Now, Subi, before we get too deep into game number 4, may I have the Stacks Stat of the Day jingle, please?
Yeah, it's, my name is Stacks, and I'll give you some facts. I don't know, but it'll cost you some tax.
Very nice indeed. So today's Stacks Stat of the Day is that the RLCS record for saves is 12 if you include the South American game where they are farming saves, or in NA, it's 11, which was Magic Bear in the grid this season versus NRG.
That's pretty insane. So he was close, but no cigar given for that one, as Beastabonium, nice play over Ajax. Tristan left on an island all alone, but that's actually a good touch there. Slows it up, it goes off the ceiling and rolls right to Wonder Mike. And Team Frontline come away without any shots on that one.
Now Andy has got no boost, but can just put the ball into the center. Delta's waiting for it, so Frontline looking like the better team ever so slightly at this juncture. Beastabonium is coming in, Beastabonium hits the post. Tristan save isn't great, and Wonder Mike's the whiz! How on earth has he kept that one out?
What in the world? And he's just sitting back on defense, waiting for that boost pad, but I truly think he was just regaining his composure after that save, because that ball was sent screaming at net.
Wow, amazing play from Wonder Mike. He's coming in for the shot. It's closed down a couple of times in quick order from two Frontline players. Tristan off the backboard, Hasn't done too much on attack so far, Tristan, despite his neat and tidy touches, pretty much in his own third of the pitch, but it's good to see him coming all the way forward and feeling it up against Frontline. But they do have to be careful, eUnited. They don't overcommit. It's not a overcommitty play from them, though, so really good positioning from them again. And Frontline just can't escape. Now we've got pre-flips from, pre-jumps from Wonder Mike going for all sorts of redirects. They're just coming again and again and again.
Oh, but Andy, not to be outdone, did he get the flip reset?
Oh!
He did, and he slots it right underneath Tristan into the 4-hole. My goodness, what a show of mechanical skill right there.
Oh, wonderful. He barely scraped getting himself that flip reset, but he knew, even if nobody else did, that he had it, and then placing it into the bottom corner of the goal. Exactly what Frontline needed, a moment of magic, and maybe that for them will be what can turn this series right back around, because at this point it was starting to look like it was going to be eUnited to run away with, and now they're seeming to get the second touch on every loose ball, which is what they've started to lose. Tristan tries to stop that by going down the wing. Wonder Mike is in the center if Ajax finds him, but Ajax instead puts it into the corner and then puts it into the center a little bit too late. So it's simple enough for Delta. He gets 100 boost in his flip, so he is feeling pretty comfortable as far as boost goes, but it won't matter if Wonder Mike gets his second touch. Or Tristan into the corner, Delta helps him out. Ajax! Oh, I thought that was another Wonder save, but it's bludgeoned in by Ajax.
Oh, he got lucky here. He put it right into the face of Delta, and somehow it goes in. Just put enough power to be able to push it in. But good offense from eUnited, and I love the aggression. Once they saw that Team Frontline was limping, they went for the jugular.
They did indeed, but one interesting stat from this one, unless I've misnoted, is that Ajax is still the only goal scorer for eUnited in this series, which blows my mind because, you know, he did have his pop-off game in Game 2, but really this is a pretty total eUnited performance that's got them to this point in the series, so I'm amazed that there haven't been more scorers.
It is a little awkward, and talk about awkward is the defense on this play. One of Mike pushes it up, Tristan rotates to the wrong side of net, and had he had turned left to challenge this ball, he would have gotten there, but Beastabonium beats him to it. And Team Frontline up by 1, looking to send us to a Game 5.
There was also Ajax going for a ball that was directly above him and pretty close to the ceiling. He was never eUnited that, so maybe eUnited need to just remember that they're in a series here. Nothing is won just yet, but Wonder Mike can make that so. He goes over the top of Beastabonium, past Delta, or at least he attempts to. Then he's taken out the game, or at least Tristan is, sorry, by Beastabonium. This could be it for Frontline, but Ajax comes in and sends Frontline right back, and now eUnited come forward, but Wonder Mike's touch isn't the best. Tristan does force a 50-50. Delta should be able to clear it out wide. Ajax up against one of the Frontline players. Eventually it comes out to Beastabonium, who puts it into the corner, and no one from eUnited goes for it there. Now it's Frontline's turn to have a few easy touches.
I don't think anyone was expecting that double tap from Beastabonium, as it was an awkward angle. He was in an awkward position, and he somehow got that touch. And Andy, great touch there, but Ajax is going to poke, and he can't quite find the backboard as Beastabonium gets a great clear. Pushes us all the way back into the blue half, and 40 seconds to go. eUnited still searching for one goal to tie this up, and they've got numbers. 3v2 situation. Tristan gets the flick, but Delta gets the cutoff save. And Beastabonium gets that demo, and sorry to cut you off there, Cole.
That's all right. Always feel free to do that, mate. I was going to say, I'd be so curious to see how Tristan starts playing if he does manage to get himself one of these solo play goals, if we can just see the next level of his confidence come out. But there's a bit of defending for eUnited to do. It is Tristan that has half a chance to clear it. Ajax up against Wonder Mike, his teammate. Not too good there from eUnited. They've not got too many seconds left. Need this one to land. Beastabonium to the side. A double touch would be great for him. And another really clean double from Beastabonium should see this one go Frontline's way, especially with Beastabonium again, who got so many key hits in that game. Does the job for Team Frontline. And this is now a really nervy Game 5 because eUnited have had their game of popping off. And now, all things considered, this is a 50-50 fifth game.
50-50-50
50-50 fifth game.
50-50
I knew what I meant.
I knew what you meant. You knew what you meant. Chat had no idea what you meant. And that's all right. But I think you mean we're going to Game 5.
What I meant was, it could go either way.
That's fair.
There's like the momentum isn't completely with Team Frontline in the same way that it was with eUnited before their third game. This now is sort of as close to a clean break as you can get before Game 5, I would say, just as how this series is shaped up.
Absolutely. And Champions Field, here we come. Game 5, winner gonna propel themselves to 2-1 and get a good look at going into the second round as Beastabonium, not the greatest touch, just kind of turns that over right to eUnited. And one thing you don't want to do is allow eUnited an early goal and space to get confident.
Yeah, because we've seen how good they can be when they are playing with that magic word, confidence. But Beastabonium has really stepped up recently, showing some of his own. Has a flip reset here as well. Tristan was just about far away enough from his flip reset to be able to get the next touch. But it's really good work again from Beastabonium. He has stepped up in the last, I'd say, 2 minutes of sort of both games combined to be Frontline's greatest threat right now.
Oh, good challenge from Tristan. You want to talk about stepping up to the challenge? My goodness, the shot placement and the shot power from Delta here was so unexpected. Caught the entire defense sleeping.
Really clean pass as well from Andy towards Delta. So those two, the players that had been trying to get like they've been going a little bit slower compared to Beastabonium in recent times. They're the ones that combine to get Frontline first spoils in game number 5. Now what can eUnited do about it? Nothing early doors. It's Beastabonium again. His solo play won't go anywhere, but Delta does cut in, just to make things a little bit tricky for eUnited. Here's Beastabonium down the wing. Wonder Mike is, I don't know, having a hop, skip, and a jump in the corner. So there was a bit of a chance there for Frontline, but no harm done as far as eUnited are concerned.
Looks like me trying to do a wave dash there where you just slam your grill into the ground and flips you upside down and you gain no momentum from it. But there's Wonder Mike making up for that mistake as Beastabonium forced to put it into his own corner. And Ajax, a little bit of time, a little bit of space. The pass is there, but Andy coming down from the backboard gets the save. And Beastabonium with the clutch save there as well to put it back into the corner as Delta just picked up that boost, and that's going to be crucial for their offense push right here.
Great touch from Beastabonium and 100 boost steal. So now when Andy comes in, it's against a team that's a little bit depleted of resources, but they have done well to clear it away. Wonder Mike's just about misses transitional touch, which is rare for him this series, which will allow Frontline to come back forward. Tristan slows it down and has Wonder Mike helping him out. It's Beastabonium that's up. Both teams are trying desperately to keep a little bit of pressure right now. Still plenty of time for eUnited to remain patient if it remains 1. If they go a couple of goals behind, I wouldn't mind seeing them chucking everything at it, even from this early position in the game, just because you feel that they need to get an early something on the scoreboard to not let their heads drop.
Yeah, and we talked about it. One thing that definitely seems to get to this team is the emotions of the game. And you've got to have short-term memory loss being a Rocket League player. You've got to be able to forget about games 1 through 4 when you're sitting here on Champions Field. As Andy's up, Andy's down, and the ball finds the back of the net, and Team Frontline find themselves with a 2-0 lead.
Wonder Mike has made so many of these interfering touches that at this point, Andy has learned exactly what he's trying to do when he goes up on that wall. It was confident play from Andy, and he also had the mechanical ability to back up his confidence with that double tap. And Frontline more than the driving seat. And now this is what I was talking about. I really fancy seeing eUnited commit everything, and that's why I'm not a Rocket League coach, because they've done that and it's backfired horrifically.
Sometimes when you go all in, your opponent calls and calls your bluff. And that's what happened to eUnited right there. Down 3-0. This is the point in ranked where your teammates are asking for a forfeit, but in my opinion, anything that a team does to you in a half of Rocket League, you can very well do in the second half. And let's see what Wonder Mike can come out with here. Let's see if the offense can get going for eUnited.
And let's see how the defense holds firm for Frontline as well. This Beastabonium has 0 boost, but at least get a clean 50-50 there. Tristan comes in, but doesn't win it. Every single one of these touches right now that Frontline are making, absolutely huge in the context of this game and of this series as well, because just prodding it past eUnited will frustrate them more and more. One more goal could kill it, and he tries to get it off the post. It doesn't happen. Wondermike and Delta smash into each other, but it's Wondermike that gets the demo. Now Ajax with a solo play. Oh, it's not quite met by either Tristan or Wondermike, and this may well be the end of the game, the end of the series, the end of Champions Field for eUnited. Delta comes forward for his second, and it's 4-0 for Frontline.
And they just keep sending the house, and you got to do it when you're down 3 goals, but you have to do it wisely. And there was no wisdom put on the field there as they just blindly, all 3, pushed towards the top of the box. Top of the penalty box, as my good friend pointed out earlier, as Beastabonium puts it down the wall. eUnited. This would be probably the greatest comeback in Rocket League history. Not going to start there as Beastabonium gets back in time. And Andy, 1v1, but gets beat out by Ajax. And the resolve from Team Frontline, winning game 1, then losing the next 2, to come back and do it themselves to win 2 in a row in game 5. Beautiful to see.
They've all taken turns as well, being the hottest player on the team. It was Beastabonium going about maybe a third of the way into this game, and the latter third of the previous game, he was looking like the one who was going to be pulling all the strings for Frontline. But since then, Andy and Delta have stepped up. They've had mechanics of the double taps. They've had passing plays that have paid off. They've had belligerence in defense as well, just not succumbing to this avalanche of pressure that eUnited have put on against them. It's been a wonderful defensive performance from Frontline as Ajax hits the post, but also in attack. The chances that they've taken have been so impressive. Wondermike's going to grab himself one. It won't mean a thing. I think all we can really do here, Subi, is just praise a thoroughly wonderful performance from Team Frontline.
I fully agree. It was a heck of a performance from them, and eUnited, hey, they tried, but they're going to go down to 1-2. And the takeaway...
Oh, what? What a way to complete your hat trick!
Hey, pull out the cues, because pull shots are apparently a thing now.
Was that a pull shot?
It was.
Oh, I thought he just forced an angle. I thought he just, like, you know, got out the protractor and gone for the negative angles there. That's why I was so amazed. Either way, a hat trick there for him. And the winners, you can see, Team Frontline. Brilliant play from them. And they go 2-1 in the Swiss as well. So neither of these teams are through or out. And we certainly have seen teams go out of the Swiss from being 2-1 up in series. But Frontline playing like that, you know, if they draw favorably and manage to avoid Peeps, G2, NRG or Rogue, they've got every chance of making it through to the second stage.
Definitely. This is a team on the up and up, and I'm excited to see what they can do further along. You know, hopefully they can make round 2, because I love the underdog story. And this is definitely a team that brings that underdog story every single match that they play. I mean, you could have made the argument that, yeah, maybe they weren't the underdogs here. Maybe most people would pick them. But eUnited is always such a dangerous team.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Team Frontline, they're a squad that have come so near yet so far to making the playoffs on both occasions. So they have actually made it to stage 2 both times and then lost both of their final series to make the playoffs. So this is a team that really have something to prove. And I think that being able to grind out a series like this when you're up against a team who did pop off for large periods of it is a great start for that.
Yeah, and eUnited, they've got to be able to score more than 1 goal in a game, because that's how every single victory came, was just by 1 goal. And I don't mean like, oh, they scored 1 more goal than their opponent. I mean 1 goal total. And got to be able to produce a little more offense than that when you're coming into a match. It just didn't seem like they were firing on all cylinders. And I think it is, you know, bringing in the sub. Tristan just kind of seemed a little lost out there. The pace of play is a little different than CRL. It's a lot more faster. And he's one of the best players in North America, obviously, playing in RLCS, but just got to be a little bit better in your rotations to just be plug and play with eUnited, you know?
I do indeed, Subi. Well, it has, as ever, been an absolute pleasure being able to cast with you. That's all from Subi and me today, but there's so much more Rocket League coming up. And before you go away and have your break and have a cup of tea, make sure you at us on Twitter at RL Esports. Use the hashtag RLCS. But Subi, unless you got any final words, that's us done.
No, I've used all my words for the day, and that's a good thing because I'm working with Stumpy, so I don't want to confuse him too much by using too many big words. But with that being said, myself and Cole, we are out of here. We're going to go for a quick break. Hope you guys can do the same, but don't go anywhere too long because we'll be right back.